What's up, Rangers Nation, and welcome back to another video on the Texas Rangers Report. And in this video, the Texas Rangers have found a manager, and that is Bruce Bochy. And yes, he is the manager that won a World Series versus the Texas Rangers, and he is 67 years old. So I'm just getting straight into it. You could have some concerns of his age and if he will be here for the long haul. Sure, that is a legitimate concern, but right off the bat, I think this is the best hire for the Texas Rangers in this current state of the franchise. So listing off the pros, he has won 3 World Series championships, and that's what the Texas Rangers are looking to do. That's what Chris Young's looking to do, and that's honestly what the fan base is looking for. We're not just looking for reaching the playoffs and being content there. We want somebody that could help win us a championship, and I do think a manager can go a long way. Obviously, player performance is huge, but I think last year Chris Woodward had some skeptical calls late in games, but you do have to consider that a lot of the times it is the front office that actually makes the decisions for the managers, so keep that into consideration. But this is exciting that we were able to lure Corey Seager and Marcus Semien last year after losing 60 games, I think. Yeah, 60 games, and we lost 68 games this year. But Bruce Bochy, I'm not going to quote this exactly correct, but Bruce Bochy said he's excited about the state of the franchise after we only won 68 games this year, but he says he said if he wanted to come out of retirement, and for you guys don't know, he managed the San Francisco Giants and the San Diego Padres, and he was a manager of Chris Young, so there's that connection there. But he said if he was going to come out of retirement, there had to be the perfect situation, and I guess the Texas Rangers is the perfect situation for Bruce Bochy. And you have to think about this. There has to be other parallels as well. So now that we have, I think, a pretty respected manager in the big leagues, could this reel in a Jacob deGrom, a Clayton Kershaw, a Justin Verlander, Carlos Rendon? Because we all know, I know that some fans, that if you're on a Rangers fan, you might be surprised that the Rangers are going to spend big. But if you're a Rangers fan, we all know that we're going to spend big this offseason. And the signing of Bruce Bochy just makes it clear. The three-year deal. Remember, he's 67, so he doesn't want to be on a rebuilding ball club. Chris Young has stated that we expect to contend next year and be a consistent winner. So especially since Bruce Bochy is old, he doesn't want to just go to a team, be bad for like 2 years and hopefully contend. We're going to be big spenders in the free agent market. I'm curious how we do in the trade market. I think that will be an interesting aspect of the off season, but definitely pitching, that's a big part of how the Rangers can improve. And I wouldn't be surprised if we go after 2 aces. I know there's question marks with Carlos Rendon's health, same with Clayton Kershaw. Also, Clayton Kershaw could retire. He's a big question mark. For some reason, I feel like Justin Verlander might be the most safe pick, which is kind of crazy since he's like 38 or 39. Please tell me in the comments. I just because I don't know their age doesn't mean I don't know baseball. But I feel like he's almost the next Nolan Ryan of our era. And of course, there's Jacob deGrom, but just for the same reason as Carlos Rendon and Clayton Kershaw. If they're not healthy, they're not going to help us get to the postseason. And you could be saying, well, Justin Verlander had Tommy John, blah, blah, blah. I think that's just a a little hiccup in his career. I think he'll be fine from here on out. And I do like that since Justin Verlander is older, you can give him like maybe a 2-year deal. So if he doesn't do as well, you're not risking a long-term contract. But you obviously have to get pitching. But now, since we have Bruce Bochy, what else could he bring to the team? He's gonna bring a pitching coach as well, and it's interesting because for his entirety of his career with the San Francisco Giants, he only had 2 pitching coaches. I don't remember their names, so you have to look them up. But for the long period of the time, it was 1 pitching coach for the San Francisco Giants. And now that guy, he's pretty old as well, and he's in the front office. So look that up. You can look it up on Baseball Reference. I did it. Maybe that's a possibility, but I don't know. He's kind of old. But you could also, if you guys watch the Dallas Cowboys, I know the Dallas Cowboys have always just gone with like who the coach wants. They go with the close connections, but then 2 years ago, they're like, screw that, we want the best candidate available, so they went for Dan Quinn. I wonder if there'll be a mix, because there could be concern, like, yes, Bruce Bochy's old, but he does have legitimate experience in the big leagues. But the big league is changing. I'm concerned just a little bit, does he have the most analytical experience of the game? But obviously, I don't think that would be too much of a concern since CUI signed him. But would that one pitching coach have that knowledge of the game? But obviously, would we fired a bunch of minor league coaches? Would he get the call for those minor league coaches as well? This would be interesting. If it's not like a buddy signing for the pitching coach, I would be looking at the Dodgers pitching coach, the Yankees pitching coach, Tampa Bay Rays, the Cleveland Guardians, and the Houston Astros, because those guys year in and year out are consistently just turning in random guys into all-stars. Just for example, Framber Valdez, Jeffrey Springs from the Tampa Bay Rays, Nestor Cortez. That's just, obviously those guys are all on different teams. So it'll be interesting to see how this offseason goes. And I thought last year's offseason was awesome. I do think we will naturally get better, just because I don't think Marcus Semien will have that terrible of a start. The shift is going to be banned, and the Rangers were the most, how do I say this? The Rangers the Rangers lost the most hits to the shift, so I think that will help the team out. We'll get Mitch Garver back. So I think there will be natural, just regular improvements, and there's that 1-run loss thing that was kind of stupid. So I think those natural things will help us get better. Obviously, I don't think our record really kind of reflected how our team played. Obviously, we weren't good by any stretch of the imagination, but I think once you help out the starting rotation, that's the biggest need. And I think the second biggest need is the bullpen, just help the pitching in general. And then I think you could look for some bats to complement the people that are already there. But just to wrap it up, Bruce Bochy signed with, and please forgive me if I'm butchering his, I know I'm not butchering, but I may just not be pronouncing it 100%. But Rangers signed Bruce Bochy. Hopefully he could bring a World Series to Texas, because he robbed us from a World Series, but it'd be awesome. I like this hire. I know people were looking at Joe Madden as somebody that could come. I think he was interested. I think early in the offseason I was looking at Mike Schultz, but he was fired from the Cardinals for philosophical differences. I don't know if that's the best way to leave, and he's still in the playoffs right now with the Padres. And I know somebody in the Discord was looking at Mike Scioscia, but If you are in the Discord, go join that right now. But that wraps it up. If you like the video and if you like the hire of my Bruce Bochy, give it a thumbs up. And there's one last topic. If you guys are worried about old managers, I'm not saying I'm worried that he's old. I'm just bringing up some concerns that people might have. If you are worried about it, just look at Dusty Baker with the Houston Astros. He's older than Bruce Bochy. And Joe Madden, who was managing earlier or last year, this year, whatever, he's older as well. So just pointing out things to look at. But if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.